Good morning, all of you. So, as we come to know that today we are going to start the next chapter in physics. That is what the human eye and the colorful world. Is it yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In your physics classwork, keep chapter number. How much? What is the chapter number? Chapter number 11, I think, correct? What is the chapter number?
Sir.
Chapter number 11.
11.
Yeah.
11 only, sir.
Yes. So in this, if it comes to here, starting most of the things regarding the human eye and the construction of human eye, and as well as working of the human eye and the functioning of iris and pupil, rods and cones, power of accommodation. These all the things is deleted portion. What is the defects of eye? What is the far point, near point of human eye? These all the things are deleted portion only. So we don't have to bother about it, and we can directly will start from the existed syllabus for the 2021. That is what if it comes to the. So till I think almost I have already given you the page number also till where it has been deleted. So till there we don't need to bother and we don't need to study also anything, because in that something will come, like in the sense of calculating power. Calculating power, that is what we have been studied in the first chapter also. Is it yes, guys? In the refraction you have been studied. Power is equals to 1 by F. Have you remembered?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is alone will you have to study, which is coming the same in second chapter also. So even in exam, they won't ask you regarding presbyopia and myopia, like that defects of vision. Only they will ask you convex and concave lens only. So we know that convex lens, power is equals to positive or negative. Convex, power is equals to positive or negative. Convex, P is equals to positive. Concave, P is equals to negative. Do you remember or not? Because focal length for concave lens and focal length is positive for convex lens. Is it yes, guys? No
Yes, sir.
response. So that is the reason. So now in our today's class, we are going to start the first concept for your first board examination from the chapter. That is what? Glass prism. What is that?
Glass prism.
Glass prism. So now, what is this glass prism and why we need to study that? And from this only, the most of the MCQs are going to ask. So, what is the refraction of light through this glass prism? That is all we study. Now, first we should know what is glass prism and how we need to represent glass prism, how it is present, what is the number of surfaces present. That is all the things we will discuss now. So, if you observe very carefully. If you'll observe very carefully, so we have already studied in last refraction of light. You have been already studied the refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab. Is it yes or no, guys? Rectangular glass slab. We have been studied the refraction of light already. So rectangular glass slab means what? Parallel sides are equal. Is it yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Because of the parallel sides are equal, whatever the light is falling, understanding on it, then refraction will take place. Again, at the second surface, the refraction will take place, which is parallel to the emergent ray is parallel to the original incident ray. Is it yes or no, guys? This is what we have been studied. And the distance between them, what we should call? That is only called as lateral displacement. What we should call? Displacement, which we should represent with a D. Is it yes?
Yes.
In this, angle of incident and angle of emergence both are equal. Angle of incident is equal to angle of emergence, and it is angle of refraction is always smaller or greater? Always less than. Always
Yes,
less
sir.
than. Sorry. Always less than. Less than means smaller only, correct? So we should keep greater than. So this is always greater than angle of refraction, means it must be smaller than the angle of incident. Angle of incident is always greater than the angle of refraction, as well as angle of emergence is always greater than the angle of refraction. This is what we have been studied in that. Is it yes, guys? Yes or no?
Sir.
If you'll observe here in the rectangular glass slab, the emergent ray will take after second surface refraction. Here one time refraction and here another time refraction. Total how many number of refractions in the glass slab? How many? How many refractions in glass slab? Rectangular glass slab. Two times refractions. Here one time. At the surface, one time refraction will take place. At the surface, another time the refraction will take place. Is it yes or no, guys? So, the emergent ray are parallel to the incident ray because the opposite sides, the opposite faces of a rectangular glass slab are parallel to one another. What is that? They are the parallel to one another. So that is the reason one another. That is the reason why the emergent rays are parallel to the incident rays. That is, you should remember. So wherever the refraction will take place at the surface, here refraction will take place. So here light is entering from where to where? Can you able to say? From air to glass. Is it yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. At the surface, from where to where it is entering? From glass to
air.
So here from rarer to denser and here from denser to rarer.
Denser to rarer.
Is happening. So totally two times refraction will take place. So wherever at the surfaces, wherever the refraction is taking place, because of its opposite sides are parallel. So the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray. Is it yes or no? They are both are parallel to each other. Is it okay now? Now, we will discuss the same way instead of rectangular glass slab. In place of this, we will study the refraction of light a glass object whose opposite faces are not parallel. Do you understand, guys? Whose opposite faces are not parallel to one another. That is what we should call it as a triangular glass prism. What we should call it?
Glass prism.
Triangular glass prism. Do you understand? So what is the specialty of triangular glass prism? What is the difference between rectangular glass slab and triangular glass prism? Anybody? So here opposite faces are parallel to one another, but here opposite faces are not parallel. That is, you should remember, all of you. So because of here parallel to each other, the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray, but here they are not parallel. So that from this I can say emergent ray is not parallel to what? Incident ray. Is it yes or no? So opposite sides are not parallel to each other. Not parallel to each other. That is what you have to remember. Now, this triangular glass prism, if you take, both are what? What is this object? Transparent object or not? Refraction will take place in which objects? Transparent, translucent and opaque objects. Which objects? Refraction. Transparent. As we know that refraction only takes place in the transparent objects. So a triangular glass prism is also a transparent object. So now you can see this triangular glass prism is a transparent object made up of what? Made up of glass. It is made up of glass. Now you can see it is having two triangular surfaces. How many surfaces? Two
triangular surfaces.
Triangular ends, and three rectangular surfaces. How many? Three rectangular surfaces. Three rectangular sides. Two triangular ends and three rectangular sides. Rectangular sides, or else we can say rectangular faces. What we should call? Rectangular faces. 2 triangular ends and 3 rectangular faces. So totally how many sides are triangular glass prism? Totally how many it will come? 5 will come. 2 triangular ends and 3 rectangular sides. That is what you have to remember. Now you can see here, all of you should remember one of the most important thing. Keep note and you write regarding the prism. I will show you the prism also now. You can see opposite faces of triangular prism are not parallel. Is that? Opposite faces of a triangular prism are not parallel to one another. That is the most important thing you have to write it. You have to remember it. So now, let us take for example, I will take the 2 surfaces. I will show you and you observe very carefully. Can I show you, all of you? Pranita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let us take, I hope you all can able to see me now. Can you able to see, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. So observe very carefully. This is what we should call as triangular glass prism. What we should call, guys? Triangular glass prism. What I said, can you able to read anybody? Akhil, can you able to see how many triangular surfaces are there? Triangular ends. How many triangular ends are there? It is 2 triangular ends. So observe very carefully. This is the one triangular end. Can you able to see the shape of triangular end? This is one triangular end. And this is back, you can see one more triangular ends is there. So that is why totally how many triangular ends are there? 2 triangular ends are there. Now, totally remaining three surfaces are there. What is the 3 surfaces, Ra?
Rectangular face.
So the 3 rectangular surfaces you observe. This is the one rectangular surface. Is it yes, guys? This is the one
Yes, sir.
rectangular surface. Opposite to that, what is that? This is the another rectangular surface.
Another rectangular surface.
Bottom, who is there? One more rectangular surfaces. Totally how many rectangular surfaces?
Three rectangular surface.
Surfaces and 2 triangular ends. Is it yes or no? So 3 rectangular face we can call. What we should call, guys? Faces we can say. Faces or sides we can say. So first rectangular face, second rectangular face and third rectangular face and first triangular end and second triangular end. That is what we should call as triangular glass prism. Now you can see, let me assume 2 faces. This is the face 1 and this is the face 2. So now both are what? Is it parallel to each other or opposite to each other? They are opposite sides. Is it yes or no, guys? They are not parallel to each other. Both are at some inclination. Have you noticed it? This is at some inclination and this is also some inclination. Is it yes, Ra?
Yes, sir.
Now, let us try to draw the same 3-dimensional understanding prism on our 2-dimensional paper, and later it is very difficult to represent this triangular glass prism for the refraction every time for our ray diagrams. So that is why only while we are drawing the ray diagrams of this prism, refraction through this glass prism, only we will draw only the one end of the triangular side, and through that only we will represent all the refraction. Is it okay, guys?
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
Now, so let us draw in this manner. Let us draw how that if you draw this 3-dimensional prism in a 2-dimensional paper, then how it will be coming and how we need to represent the faces and all. We'll discuss now. So let us go to the here. So observe all of you carefully. I am considering here opposite faces of triangular glass prism. One is F1 and another one is what? Another one is what? F2. So that is what you guys need to remember. So where that faces only where the refraction will take place. What is this F1 and F2? All of you, this is F1 and this is what? F2. So here only the refraction will take place. Are you understand, guys, what I am saying? So these 2 faces only, light will come from this side and light will leave from this side. This is what we can call F1 and F2. These are called as the refraction faces, where the refraction of light will take place. Is it okay, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Understand, so this refraction, where the light is entering, I am assuming as F1, and where the light is leaving, I am assuming as what? I am assuming is
F2.
that what? F2. So that is what you have to remember. So now let us represent this figure on our paper and how it will be coming and how we need to show that refraction and all. We'll see now. So if it comes to here, the three-dimensional figure, if you draw in the paper, please all of you draw in your classwork. Try to draw with the scale. Scale you have to draw. Or else I will use the symbols. That is better. 1 minute. Yeah. I will also draw with the scale only. You also draw with the scale. All of you draw. Can you able to draw?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay, Ra? All of you?
Yes, sir.
You have to, equally you have to draw. So this is what the three-dimensional representation of prism. I think almost it looks like that. Is it yes, guys? Something if it is different also, it's okay, no problem. So now this is what it is, the three-dimensional representation of prism. Can you able to feel the prism? If you see that it is, you are feeling like a prism. Is it yes, guys? Respond me, yaar. If you draw perfectly, you guys will feel that. Is it yes? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, almost I think I am feeling it is three-dimensional. It looks like a three-dimensional. Is it yes, Kevin? Arun Karthikeyan? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the three-dimensional representation of which surfaces the refraction will take place? Can you able to say? Which surfaces refraction?
Triangular.
This surface. Is it yes or no?
Rectangle.
Totally. So this is one triangular surface, back side another triangular side, end, and this side one rectangular surface. This is another rectangular surface, and bottom one more rectangular surface is there. Is it yes or no? So rectangular faces we can call, triangular ends we can say. Now let us imagine this triangle is called as, understand, PQR. What is this triangle, guys? PQ. This is P and this is Q and this is R. All of you write neatly. Next, if you'll observe faces, what is where the refraction will take place? F1 and as well as what?
F2.
F1 and F2. Neatly you should represent. If you'll see that, you will feel that it is really a triangular glass piece. Is it okay, guys? So now, I hope my figure is looks like that only. Correct, Ra? So now if you'll observe
Yes,
here,
sir.
All of you understand. So I am assuming here the opposite faces of the glass prism, F1 and F2. F1 and F2 are called as what? The refraction of light, where the refraction of light will take place. F1 and F2 called as what? F1 and F2 are the refraction, where the refraction will take place. Refraction will take place. You understand? So now you can see here, they are parallel to each other or not parallel to each other? They are not
parallel, non-parallel to each other.
Not parallel to each other. That is, you should remember. Now you can see here, now they are inclined at an angle to one another. Is it yes or no, guys? This is at some angle of inclination and this is at angle of inclination. Is it yes or no? Respond me. So both are at some angle of inclination. Is it yes? Nobody is responding. So they are looks like this. Is it yes or no? They are looks like this. So
Yes.
this face is also having some inclination and this face is also having some inclination. So this is only whatever they are framing. I think that this looks like this. Is it yes? My hands you can see. Is it looks like this or not? So both this face is inclination and this face is also inclination. Both are having some with the angle. That angle is only we used to called as angle of prism. What we should call, guys? Angle of
prism.
that is, you should remember. I will take the different colors to show it also. So because we have to understand more clearly. So now let us see here. So they are inclined at an angle to one another. So that angle between its opposite faces only. The angle between its opposite faces. Where it is angle between opposite faces? Anybody? Nitish, Dina, Pranav. Where it is represent? PQR. Where we can represent that angle? At what point? At what point we can represent? At what point? Their inclination at what point, man? At P. Is it yes or no? Here only their angle of inclination is there. Is it yes, guys? This one and this one. Is it yes or no? So this angle is only called as, what we should call? Angle of prism. What we should call?
Angle of prism.
Angle of prism. So what do you mean by angle of prism? Anybody? Varshini? Yalini? The angle present between F2 and F1, understand, F1 and F2, which are inclined to each other, inclined faces of triangular glass prism. Do you understand, guys? Which are opposite faces, understand? So the angle between its opposite faces, the triangular glass prism, the opposite faces of triangular glass prism, some angle is present between them. That angle is only called as, what we should call, angle of. Understand? So now if you will observe in this figure, PQR is the surface of triangular side, is a triangular end. Is it yes or no, guys? Is it yes or no? So now this PQR, if you will observe, PQR is the angle of prism, angle of this prism. What is that called as? PQR. Actually, P should come middle. So middle is representing what in mathematics? Middle one is representing what? Angle only. Is it yes or no, guys? Either I can write angle of prism is equals to P, or I can write angle of QPR is the angle of prism. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Middle letter is
Yes, sir.
angle. Is it, you remember or not mathematics? Is it true or not? You should say. I should not. Yes or no? So in this figure, QPR, QPR, this is what we should call as angle of prism. So this P is representing what? The angle between the opposite faces of triangular glass prism. That is what we should call it as angle of prism. Understand, guys? Now you can see this is very difficult. While I am drawing the ray diagram, every time insert the incident ray, draw the refracted ray, it is very difficult to draw this three-dimensional figure. Is it yes or no, guys? Yes or no? So that is why for our convenience in drawing the ray diagrams, a triangular glass prism is represented by a triangle. How we can represent? Just we can take the triangle alone. So that is alone is the representation for our convenience only in regarding when only while we are drawing the ray diagrams, while we are drawing the ray diagrams, only we people can consider Only we people can consider what? Triangle alone. Is it okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
I try to do exactly equal sides. All the sides are equal. That is, you should remember. I will try to adjust and I will make it. You also need to make. I think it is not equal, but okay. Equilateral triangle you can draw. So this is what the representation of what?
Glass prism.
Yeah, glass prism. So I think almost it is same. So now this is what the representation of what? A glass prism. It is for our convenience only we people are making, because every time drawing the three-dimensional figure is very difficult. So that is the reason while we are representing the ray diagrams, this is how a triangular glass prism is represented in ray diagrams. For our convenience only we are making this. So there is no another purposes. So in this it is easy to draw the ray diagram. So that is the reason we are representing this one. So this P is called as what? What is this P is called as? Dina?
Angle of prism.
So angle of prism we can represent. So all of you should remember that. So now it is triangular glass prism. So in triangular, equilateral triangle. So all the sides are equal. So what is this angle of prism? Can you able to say equilateral triangle? Equilateral triangle. How much it is?
All side is 3 degrees.
All sides are equal.
So what is the total sum of the angle of equilateral triangle, which is equal to what?
180 degrees,
Yeah,
sir.
180 degrees. Each side is equals to 3, which is equals to 60 degrees. Is it yes, Kevin? Respond me, Elamati. Harini.
Yes, sir.
This is what the representation for our convenience in ray diagrams. A triangular glass prism is represented by just a triangular. So now you can remember this triangular glass prism is usually called as glass prism. What we should call? Also we can call, every time we no need to write triangular glass prism. Simply you can call it as glass prism. Understand? So whenever you can write triangular glass prism or glass prism, both are same. So even simply few times also we can call it as prism. Also, that is also correct. In exam they will ask you triangular glass prism or glass prism or prism. All are same thing. That is what you have to remember. Now, you remember, so just we will study later we will study what is the refraction of light through a glass prism. So now you can see refraction of light passing through a glass prism is different from the glass slab. So that is what you have to remember. So as we know, we have been already discussed, glass slab looks like a water. Opposite sides are parallel to each other. Is it yes or no, guys? In triangular glass prism, opposite faces are not parallel to each other. That is, you should remember. So if you observe, the refraction through this glass prism is different. It's different from that glass slab. This is different and this is different. Both are not. The refraction is not. Because the refraction through a glass slab, the emergent ray, glass slab, the emergent ray is already we have been studied. The emergent ray is what? Which is parallel to the incident. Understand? Parallel to the incident ray, but in refraction through this glass slab, glass prism, the emergent ray is not parallel. What is that? Is not parallel. Emergent ray is not parallel to incident ray. Here, emergent ray is parallel to what? Emergent ray is parallel to incident ray. That is, you should remember. So, the emergent ray in a glass prism is not parallel to the incident ray of light. Only why? Because, what is the reason behind? Because why? Opposite faces of the glass prism, understand, are not parallel to one another, are not parallel to one another. So wherever the refraction will take place, this face and this face, that is what the refraction faces we can call. This F1 and F2 are called as refraction faces. So here, they are not parallel to one another. That is the reason why the emergent ray and the incident ray also not parallel. Is it okay, guys? Understand? Now you can observe always in the rectangular glass prism, you can see, sorry, in the triangular glass prism, you can see, or prism, you can see the refraction through a glass prism, the emergent ray, whatever the emergent ray will come here, whatever the emergent ray will come here, this is called as what we should call emergent ray. This is called as incident ray, and this is called as emergent ray. I should take the black color. 1 minute. So this is called as incident ray and this is called as emergent ray. So in the triangular glass prism, always you observe very carefully this emergent ray, understand, is deviated from the original direction. So this is actually original direction, but because of change in medium, it will deviate, understand, from its original direction by a certain angle. You can observe here, this is what the original path, but it is deviating at a certain angle. This is what will happen in the triangular glass prism. Now you can say the light ray gets deviated on passing through a glass prism. So now how it will deviate it, how to find it, what will happen, that is all we will discuss now. So this is what about what is glass prism, how the faces will be present, what is the difference between rectangular glass, what is that? Rectangular glass slab and triangular glass prism. So emergent ray will deviate from its original path by a certain angle. That is only called as angle of deviation. What we should call? Angle of deviation. Understand? Deviates. It will deviate from its original path. This is what the original path. This is what the original path. But it is deviating away from it. That is what it is called as angle of deviation. So anyhow, we will study now. So this meeting is going to end. Please all of you leave the meeting and rejoin. So the next concept which we are going to study is refraction of light through a glass prism. What is that? Refraction of, all of you keep heading. Refraction of light through a glass prism. Through a glass prism. Yeah. I'm going to end the meeting again. Join fastly, all of you.